What can Machiavelli, the master of power, teach us about being a man who isn't just desired but respected? Forget the image of the nice guy everyone ignores. Forget the man who finishes last, the reliable, predictable, boring man who is remembered only for his compliance. He is the footstool, not the throne. In the next few minutes, I will give you the Machiavellian communication code that transforms an overlooked man, a social pawn, into a social prince. A man capable of commanding not just attention, but admiration and, most importantly, respect. This isn't about being evil. This isn't about manipulation in the crude sense. This is about being strategic. The social world is a battlefield, not a charity. It is a game of power, perception, and psychology. While you were taught to be nice, to be selfless, to put others first, others were taught to win. You were given a script for failure, designed to make you easy to control. Today you learn the script of the general. You learn to see the world as it is, not as you wish it were. The greatest mistake in attraction, the foundational error that ensures failure, is focusing on being loved instead of being respected. Machiavelli taught that fear, or in modern terms, deep respect for your capabilities, your boundaries, and your non-negotiable willingness to walk away, is a much safer foundation than love. Love, he argued, is a bond of obligation, which men, being self-interested, break at the first sign of inconvenience. Love is an emotion. It is fickle. It changes with the weather, the mood, or the next attractive option. It is a currency you do not control. Respect, however, is a decision made by the other person, based on your demonstrated character and power. It is a currency you earn and control. The nice guy begs for love. He offers gifts, compliments, and his time, not as acts of genuine strength, but as a transaction. He is a beggar, offering his compliance in exchange for validation. In doing so, he proves he is not worthy of respect. He proves he has no value of his own. His value is determined by her. The prince doesn't concern himself with being loved. He concerns himself with being respected. He understands a fundamental human truth. Genuine desire and attraction are the children of respect. They cannot exist without it. Desire follows respect, always. It never, ever follows the needy plea for love. You must become the man who commands respect, even if it means risking being disliked in the short term. This is the first and most painful truth. So how is this respect built? It begins with the first pillar, the appearance of power, your social virtue. Machiavelli said that people judge more by appearances than by reality. He wrote, "Everyone sees what you appear to be, few experience what you really are." This is not a cynical lie. It is a profound insight into human psychology. In the context of attraction, your mental image and your physical projection are your entire territory. Before you speak a word, you have already told her who you are. You don't need to be the richest or most handsome man. That is a comforting lie that weak men tell themselves. Instead, you must project the image of a high-value man who has complete self-dominion. The man who fails tries to prove who he is. He is a walking advertisement. He over-explains his job. He boasts about his accomplishments. He fishes for compliments. He name-drops. He is selling. The prince simply acts as if his value is already settled, universally known, and not up for debate. He is not for sale. This virtue is your armor, and it is built in 3 layers. First, your internal state, sovereignty. This is the core. The prince is sovereign over his own emotional kingdom. He is not reactive. He is not a boat tossed on the waves of her moods or her validation. His why, his mission, is stronger than his need for her approval. The failed man's mission is her approval. His entire day is ruined by a text left on read. The prince's mission is his life, his business, his art, his body, his mind. This internal calm, this purpose, is the foundation for everything else. It is the source of his power. He is occupied with his own empire, and she senses this. She senses that her presence is a complement to his life, not the center of it. This is the single most attractive quality a man can possess. Second, your physical projection, the body. Your body is your army, and it never lies. The failed man slouches. He makes himself small. He leans in desperately. signaling need. He crosses his arms, protecting his weak center. His movements are fast, jerky, and nervous like a prey animal. His voice is high-pitched, fast, and he uses upward inflections, turning statements into questions, literally begging for agreement. I had a good day, you know? The prince's posture is open, relaxed, and he takes up space. He is comfortable in his own skin. His movements are slow, deliberate, and purposeful, like a predator. He leans back, creating a vacuum that pulls others in. He is the mountain, not the wind. His voice is measured, calm, and he speaks from his chest, not his throat. He understands the power of resonance. He uses the power of the pause. He is not afraid of silence, which leads to the third layer. Third, the most powerful tool, the gaze and the silence. The insecure man fills silence because it makes him deeply uncomfortable. Silence is a void, and it forces him to confront his own emptiness. He babbles. He asks endless, inane questions. He is the court jester, desperate to entertain. The prince uses silence as a tool. He knows that in any interaction, the person who is more comfortable with silence holds the power. He will state his case or ask a deep question, and then he will wait, holding her gaze. This calm, unblinking silence creates a vacuum of pressure, forcing her to reveal her insecurity, forcing her to talk, to explain, to qualify herself to him. His gaze is not an aggressive stare. It is a look of deep presence and amused curiosity. He is not afraid to look, and he is not afraid of her looking back. He does not break eye contact first. This combination, a sovereign mind, a relaxed body, a slow pace, and a comfortable, strong gaze, projects an unshakable core of confidence. This is virtù. This leads to the second pillar, controlling fortune and mastering anticipation. Machiavelli spoke of mastering fortuna, which is chance, the unexpected, the chaos of life, through bold, strategic action. In an interaction, this translates to never being caught off guard. Why? Because you anticipate. You are a student of human nature. You know that social tests are inevitable. You know that indecision is common. The prince doesn't react to this chaos. He directs it. He is the architect of the interaction. The man who fails is a reactor. He asks, "So what do you want to do?" This is a weak, feeble question. It puts all the burden of leadership on her, forcing her into the masculine role, which is the very last thing she wants. He waits for her to text. He reacts to her plans. He is a patient, one who is acted upon. The prince is an agent, one who acts, he directs. He doesn't ask, "Do you want to go out sometime?" He states, "I know a great place with the best cocktails in the city. We're going there Thursday at 8. He has already anticipated the objections. He is not asking for approval. He is offering an experience. He advances because his intention is clear and his path is set. He has a mental script, but he executes it naturally, making chaos, her indecision, her insecurity, work in his favor. He is the solid object that the storm breaks against. This mastery extends to the social tests she will inevitably use. A social test is a subconscious probe to check your strength, your virtù. It is a question. Are you really as strong as you appear, or are you just another actor? The man who fails always fails the test. He becomes defensive, angry, or starts supplicating and apologizing. He proves the test was right. He is weak. Let's analyze the tests. The compliance test. She asks you to do a small, slightly inconvenient favor. Can you come pick me up? Can you hold my purse? The failed man jumps, eager to please. Of course, anything. He becomes her servant. The prince smiles with amused indifference. He may do it, or he may not, but he will show it is his choice. I'm not your butler, but since you asked nicely, he does it on his terms, turning it into a tease, reinforcing his frame. The shit test, the tease. She makes a playful jab at you. You probably say that to all the girls, or, I don't like your shirt. The failed man crumbles. He defends himself. No, I don't, or gets offended. What's wrong with my shirt? He loses. The prince welcomes the test. He sees it as a sign of interest. He agrees and amplifies it. To all the girls? No, only the beautiful ones. Or, I know, right? My dog has better taste. But here I am. He shows the words have zero power over him. His reality is stronger than her words. The last-minute cancellation. She texts you an hour before the date. Sorry, something came up. The failed man's heart sinks. He replies, Oh, okay, that's fine. Are you okay? When are you free next? He is desperate. He has signaled that his time has no value and he has no other options. The prince doesn't argue. He assumes his time is valuable and so is hers. He replies, No problem, my schedule is packed anyway. We'll try another time. He then removes his attention. He does not text her, he does not chase. He creates a vacuum, forcing her to be the one to reinitiate, which she will, because his lack of reaction has proven his high value. The jealousy test, the ghost of others. This is a classic probe. She mentions another man to gauge your reaction. My ex texted me today, or that guy at the bar is really hot. The failed man instantly becomes jealous and insecure. He gets angry. Why is your ex texting you? Possessive or starts to compete. He's not hot, he has failed catastrophically. He has shown he is in competition, that he is afraid of losing. The prince, however, is not in competition with anyone. He is the prize. His reaction is one of complete, utter, amused indifference. If she says, my ex texted me, the prince might say, and? Does he need a job? Or simply, that's nice. Anyway, as I was saying, he doesn't just ignore the test, he ignores the entire emotional frame of the test. He demonstrates that her ex is so far beneath his reality that he doesn't even register as a threat. This level of unshakable confidence is almost superhuman, and it is devastatingly attractive. He proves that his emotional state is not dependent on her. He passes every test by refusing to be a player in her game, forcing her to play in his. This brings us to the crucial point of your existence. If you place yourself in the position of a subject begging for scraps of attention, you will never be seen as a sovereign. The man who fails is the patient. His mood is dictated by her. He is a puppet. The prince is the agent. He is the cause, and the world reacts to him. Respect and consequently desire flows to the man who demonstrates he is the agent of his own life, not merely a patient in someone else's. This is not a game, this is social realism. You are not at her banquet hoping for scraps. You are at your own, and she is the one who is invited. You now have the Machiavellian mindset. Respect before love, agent before patient. You have the armor of virtue. But even the prince needs tools. There is one single communication tactic that solidifies all of this. It is what Machiavelli would call the master stroke of communication, and it is the art of the exit. This tactic allows you to end any conversation at the perfect moment. It is the art of leaving at the peak of the interaction, creating a magnetic vacuum of desire and curiosity. The greatest mistake of the man who finally gets a good interaction is staying too long. He is so starved for validation that when he gets it, he clings to it. He has hit a peak of dopamine and he doesn't want it to end. He stays until the conversation is dry, the energy is gone, the laughter fades, and the mystery is solved. He transforms himself from a prince to a court jester. He becomes mere entertainment. He proves in that final moment that he has nothing better to do. He has no mission. She was the mission, and he failed. Mission. The prince understands the psychology of the open loop. The human mind is wired to remember incomplete tasks and stories far more vividly than completed ones. This is the Zeigarnik effect. You must always leave her wanting more. You must end the interaction first, and you must do it at the absolute peak of her interest. The moment she is laughing the hardest, the moment her eyes are wide with interest, the moment the connection feels strongest, that is when you must leave. You look at your watch, not with anxiety, but with purpose. You give a slight, charming smile. You don't make an excuse. You make a statement. The final phrase is not a question. It is a declaration. You stand up or begin to turn as you say it. The action reinforces the words. You say, I have to go. This was fascinating. Or, my time is up, but I loved this conversation. The structure is critical. I have to go. The mission calls, the world needs me. I'm a man of purpose. combined with, "This was fascinating. I enjoyed you. You passed my test." You are not rejecting her. You are prioritizing your life. This act, more than any other, proves your value. It creates a space, a vacuum that she will feel an uncontrollable urge to fill. She will replay the conversation. She will anticipate the next one. You have left an open loop. You have become a mystery. You have given her a spike of dopamine and then taken it away, leaving her craving the next hit, which is you. This is the engine of desire. Do you see the power in this? You now know the mindset. You know how to build respect, how to project power, how to master the interaction, and how to exit like a strategist, leaving a magnetic pull in your wake. But there is one final deadly trap, a verbal prison where 90% of nice guys are captured and held for life. It is the very language they use that creates the friend zone. It's a subtle linguistic pattern, a single word you probably use in every conversation, that once used makes it almost impossible for her to ever see you as a desirable man. This word is a signal of supplication. It hands her all the power. It turns you from a king to a servant. It makes you a provider, not a lover. All this strategy, all this armor, all this virtue can be shattered in a single moment by this one linguistic mistake. You now have the armor and the strategy, but you are still walking into this one single trap, and it is neutralizing all your efforts. Do you want to know what this linguistic trap is and the exact verbal formula to shatter it forever? You have seen the map. You have learned the difference between being loved and being respected. You have discovered how virtue in your posture and the control of fortuna in social tests separate the prince from the subject. You even master the masterstroke of the exit, ensuring she feels your absence and desires your return. All your value has been built. But the only trap that remains is the most subtle, a verbal slip, a single word that society taught you to use, which nullifies all your power and sentences you to the glass prison of the friend zone. Do not lose everything you have built. The next video is the final piece of your code. To ensure you receive the strategic revelation about this fatal word and the verbal antidote to destroy it, you need to make a commitment. It is not a request, it is a strategic necessity. If you are determined to be the prince and not the failure, then join those who hold the knowledge. Leave your like now on this video to prove to the algorithm that this message is valuable and must be amplified. Strategic knowledge must prevail. Subscribe to the channel and activate notifications. Here you are not a follower, you are an agent seeking dominance. Guarantee your access to the next step of the code. The game is over for the nice guys. If you want the respect, the attraction, and the control of your interactions, your next move is simple. Like and subscribe. We will see you in the next video, where we will tear down the final barrier.